What excuse do we have as Muslims living in the United States or even the UK or Australia or any of these so-called Western nations and paying tax dollars that are funding genocide? The only excuse we have to do that is if we're living there to change the countries for the better, to push them from nations of war to peace, of misguidance to guidance, of cruelty to humanity. And that's what the insane thing that you're seeing is you're seeing some of these people who are engaged in these policies that are very cruel. You can enforce policies without being cruel, but they're so cruel. And the way they speak about it is absence of any humanity. So I think ultimately with everything we're witnessing, it always pushes back that the number one priority we have must be dawah. It must be calling people to understand their creator, because when people understand their creator, it will change how they deal with their creation. And before that, even building the faith within the Muslim community, because I always say the enemies can never defeat us. We can only defeat ourselves if we allow them to just turn us away from ourselves, if we allow them to make us afraid of our own faith and our own identity. We're trying to make America more representative of the ideals it espouses, like compassion, humanity, and mercy. But now they're doing the same, and they're just going to keep, and this pendulum is going to keep swinging farther and farther. And eventually we can fall into complete tyranny and chaos. So I think the great thing that Muslims in America will be remembered for is actually preserving the very soul of liberty and justice within America. That's what we're fighting to preserve. And we do that driven by love of our Creator, love of the God of Abraham, Moses, Jesus, and Muhammad, finding true service to Him through sincere service to His creation.
The extent in which how our respective governments are complicit, number one being the US, right? In the amount of money and weapons that they send to Israel, in which a genocide is being taken place, tens and thousands of children, men and women, innocents, blood, organs. Do you ever envisage, and this is a real question, brother, and I'm sure you will tell me the truth, do you ever see a just America that will have a different approach to the Muslim majority world?
And my hope is for the American people. Wake up. You should be outraged that your government is acting against your interests for a foreign parasitic nation that is committing crimes against humanity. The only reason we have enemies is because we've supported Israel breaking international law and slaughtering children. So it brings no benefit, only harm. But again, as Muslims, we have to remember we're winning the fight so long as we're fighting the fight. That is our victory.